Hey guys, welcome back to the shop for SNS 145. I think I've got a lot of good content for you this week. As always, I try to bring you a nice mix of subjects for the show here for Saturday. We're going to have a little bit of machining. I've got some clips from work that I didn't have my GoPro with me, but I used my iPhone, and we've got a few clips to share with you on a little bit of a production job that I was on some repair work. And we're also going to talk about some Jacobs chucks, 20N Jacobs chucks in particular. I've got a couple arbors right here that I bought. We're going to take a look at those. We're going to take a look at the chucks there in question. So we'll get to that. That's going to be later in the episode. And we've also got we got a couple viewer mail gifts, and this is again some viewer mail gifts related to Stella, my dog. And we're going to show those. We're going to talk about that for just a minute. And I've also got some repaired tools that I sent over to MR Tool Repair. This was a couple months ago. I sent him some indicators and some hole gauges, and I've got them back now, and I want to look at them and show them to you. And I'll share his info there with you. So we'll take a look at those in just a minute. I want to go ahead and try to real quickly give you one more plug on the current A-Bomb 79 hoodies and the shirts over there at tblaster.com. The campaign that's running right now, when you see this, is going to be ending Sunday, December the 4th. Any of the purchases made in this campaign should be fulfilled and to you before the Christmas holiday. That's why they ended it on December the 4th. Gives them a couple weeks to get it out the door and to you right before Christmas Day for you people that might be buying them for gifts for loved ones. So we got that going on, and the hoodies seem to be a pretty popular hit. We've been selling quite a few of those, the zip up hoodies, so that's pretty cool. And I wanted to go ahead and kind of give you a heads up on something that we've been working with. I've been staying in communication with Brian over at T Blaster. He's my campaign manager over there. Always helps me set up my campaigns. Any questions, we go back and forth through emails. We're working on, or they are working on for me, an actual storefront for next year. So instead of always running campaigns for shirts, they're going to work on having a storefront set up so that it's sort of like a print on command. So you'd be able to go there. All of my designs will be on a page, and you'll be able to click any design you want and purchase it, and they'll print it and send it to you. I'm really excited about that. I think that'll work out great, especially for the designs that we've already been going through and been running campaigns on. We've had a lot of sales throughout those, so those sales are declining because people already have them. So I'm pretty excited about that. We're going to have an actual storefront. I do have new designs that I'm working on, and I also wanted to mention that I do hear your cries for other designs. I know that I've had a lot of guys mention a shirt for Stella, especially using that art that we've got, the Cheryl, the painting that Cheryl made of Stella. I think that would be pretty cool to use that on a shirt and do like a Shop Life shirt. That would be sort of like a limited edition one right there. And I had a lot of requests for doing the spray welding Shop Life, so we'd like to work on that. And I've still got another design that I have never launched yet that I've been holding on to that I would like to start with possibly in the beginning of the year next year. So I'm excited about that, about getting the storefront set up and get that rolling in the new year. And those would just be available at any time somebody wants to purchase a shirt. One more thing I tell you that we're talking about too. I've had a lot of requests for hats, caps, So we've been working on that, and I'm working with T Blaster on doing hats. That's not something that they do. They don't do embroidery, but they are working with me, and we are trying to figure out a way to make that happen through T Blaster. I don't personally have time to get with somebody here in town and print out a bunch of shirts and take the orders and then take them and send them out. I just can't handle that. I got too much on my plate with work and videos and editing. I just can't handle that. So that's why I do like having this, say like a fulfillment center out there such as T Blaster. They've been really good with me and working with me on this, and it's nice having somebody that can take the orders, do the printing, ship it out. I like that. It works for me. It may not work for everybody, but I don't have anybody here to help me with that kind of stuff. So having help from somebody else really works for me. So I'll keep you guys informed on that. I am looking forward to the hats. I know Kelly, I know he wants him a hat, and a bunch of you other guys want hats. I will tell you that when we start hats, it's going to be, I'm going to have to start with one design because there's going to be an investment with this. And my personal hat that I like to wear, I'll show you one right here. This is not an actual flex fit hat, but this is the style hat that I like. It's a flex fit. I don't like the adjusters on the back. I don't wear that kind of hat very often anyway. So this would be the style hat that I'm going to start with. Probably black, and we'll have the A-Bomb 79 logo embroidered across the front right there. So it's more like a ball cap style that fits your head good. That's the kind of hat that I like. So that's what we'll be going with, just giving you a heads up. All right, so now that we got that out of the way, we're going to go ahead and get to our gifts that has come in, and we'll get to our tools, and we'll get to some work around here. And also be on the lookout for the next episode of the Gearbox Shaft. So we'll start with our first gift right here, and this was made by Bob Cutts from Ocala, Florida. And he has made a clock in honor of Stella, and he's got a little tag there in memory of Stella Booth, and have a nice quartz clock pressed into there. Something that he wanted to do for me in memory of Stella. Very nice, Bob. I really appreciate that. That's a nice clock. I think this one is going to go inside the house, maybe on the bookshelf. So thank you very much, Bob. I really appreciate that. So here's our next gift that come in for Stella, and this was sent in by Julian Parsons, and he was from Oxford, Ohio, and he has made me he's made a marker for Stella's grave out there. And you know, a couple weeks ago I had shown that one of our other viewers, Bruce Noren, he had made a marker also out of a brick. So we still have Bruce's marker right here. And now we have the one from Julian. So we've got two markers, and I will tell you guys that I really appreciate what both of you guys have done here for the markers, and I'm going to use both of them out there. I'm not going to just pick one. Both of these will go out there. They'll both be great. We'll put them next to each other out there next to Stella. So that's going to be great, guys. I really appreciate it. So Julian sent me a nice letter here, and he had talked to me in an email also. He also sent a picture of his dog Dingo, and surprisingly he lost his dog Dingo just a few days after I lost Stella. So he went through some trouble with that as well. You know, it was she had been with him, I believe he said 15 years, and she was diagnosed with kidney failure. And he was trying to help her out as long as he could, to the point where he knew that there was no fixing it, no correcting it, and he had to do what he had to do. So he had decided to go ahead and get a marker made for Dingo, and while he was doing that marker, he wanted to have one made for Stella also. So Julian, thank you very much. This is very, very kind and considerate. And I'm very sorry to hear that you had to go through the same kind of emotions that I felt. I know how tough it is. I know what you went through. It was really, really tough. So we're going to put these markers out there with Stella, and I'll never forget you guys and what you did for her. Thank you very much. One more quick note that I wanted to mention about Stella. I've got a couple pictures that my mom found probably about a couple weeks ago. She found them in her closet. She was going through some pictures, and there's two pictures of Stella when she was a little puppy. And I took some pictures of them, and I'm going to throw up on screen here to show you. I thought you guys might like this. These are some really just super cute pictures of Stella, and you can see just how brand new she was back then. I don't know how old she was. She's definitely probably a couple months old at the time. And that second picture right there is real funny. You know, it looks like she's winking at the camera. But Mom had found these pictures and told me about them, and she put them in a little frame for me right here, and they got the magnets on them, so I got them on the fridge. So cool pictures of Stella that I actually didn't even know existed until my mom had found them. So I really appreciate that from Mom, and I wanted to share them with you guys. All right, so this is the tools that I got in from Mark Rakowski over at MR Tool Repair, and this is some that I sent to him that I owned that I wanted to have repaired. And then these right here, we'll start with these. This is a hole gauge set that was given to me by a viewer. Let's see if we can, we're trying out the new camera, by the way, so just bear with me, guys. Learning something new, trying to get you a good shot of everything with some good audio too. So this is some hole gauges that a viewer had given me, and I tried to remember who it was, and I'm really sorry that I cannot remember the name of the viewer that gave me these. I went back and looked, and I just couldn't find it. I'm trying to remember to write people's names and dates on things now whenever they send stuff in to try to help me. But anyway, these hole gauges right here, quick check hole gauge set. And I believe these go from 70 thousandths up to 300 thousandths right there. That's the actual gauge that you can check them with. And they needed a little bit of work. So Mark worked his magic. One of these, I think it was the big one right here that needed some repair. And honestly, I can't even remember what we had to do now. It's been a little while. I sent these out a couple months ago. And it was no rush or anything. You know, I just told Mark, I said, when you got some time, you know, get to this stuff, because I know he's been getting a lot of business in for indicator repairs from you guys out there. But he's gone through all of these and got them all in working condition. So what you do is, if you have a hole that you want to check the diameter of, you can stick that on there like so, and then you just read the gauge there. Let's see if we can see it. Just read the gauge there, and it tells you what the diameter of the hole is. So, neat tool. I wanted to make sure that these were in good working condition, so I had Mark work his magic on them. So very cool. Got those done. All right, let's move on to the indicators here. So this one right here is another indicator that belonged to my granddad. This was one of his, and it was in pretty rough shape. So there's Mark's info right there, MR Tool Repair. He does some really good work at a very reasonable rate. He doesn't try to overcharge people, and he does a fine job. So here's the old stared indicator. Let's go ahead, and he puts these on there to protect the crystals that he puts on. Oh, very nice. So he used the original dial face. I'm trying to think of the terms right now. I'm kind of losing my words here. And put a new crystal on it, cleaned it up really well. And it works just like it's supposed to. All of the rest of the parts are still original. All right. So let's check out this other one. There's the Starrett. So this one right here is another one that I had acquired through some of my trading a while back. And I believe I got this from a local friend, another guy named Mark actually. There's another one of his cards there. So I'm going to have to try to dig and see if I can find a picture. This guy right here was made by, I believe, the Standard Gauge Company. Let's go ahead and pull it out of this. Yeah, it's a Standard Gauge Company. And what's really neat about this one, it's got a really heavy weight to it. You can see the back of it is made of brass or bronze of some nature. It's got a nice chrome plated finish on the outside, and he's definitely worked his magic. Works nice and smooth. But what was really neat about this indicator whenever I had it was the white colored dial face right there. That's what he replaced, and it was almost like paint, like cracked paint chipping and falling out. All this was just cracked and breaking loose, and it was hindering the needle from wanting to move around. So I had shown Mark some pictures of this and asked him, is that something that he could fix? And he said to bring it on. He likes a good challenge, so I sent it to him. Mark, you did a good job. That's really cool, man. I didn't think that we were going to be able to save that one, but you sure made it look like a new indicator again. I love saving these old tools. You know, they've got a nice history to them. The quality is there, so let's preserve these and have Mark fix them. All right, so that was that's the indicator's repair, and I'll make sure that his info is up there. I'll have his email up there, so you guys interested, give him a call. And he doesn't just fix indicators. Keep in mind that Mark can fix a lot of different instruments, fine measurement instruments, indicators, micrometers, calipers, and all kind of stuff. So if you have a question, make sure that you send him an email, and he will gladly respond to you. So I really appreciate it, Mark.